Hello Aries, and welcome to Sincere Tarot, where you get the raw, honest truth. This is your June 2020 tarot forecast, and your theme is the Princess of Pentacles. So a thirst for knowledge, moving forward with an idea, but in an actual solid way. So let's see what the rest of the cards have in store for you this month. So I was looking at my statistics the other day, and less than 5% of you are subscribed. It would really help me out a lot as a new and growing channel. If any of my videos have helped you at all, if you could subscribe, it would really mean a lot. And liking the video, it just helps me out so much. So obviously it's up to you, but I would really appreciate it. Okay, anyways, back to you. So just pulling a few more cards. Looking pretty. I was almost spoke too soon. All right, so I've got the Kachina knife spread, and my question is, what does Aries need to know for June 2020, okay? So, what we have in the past, so in the past you've had some sort of idea because we've got the Ace of Wands. That's clarified by the Three of Wands, also known as virtue. So it's like you had an idea in the past, and maybe you're moving forward with it. And this is an idea that came from inspiration. Sometimes this wands can be either creative energy, so a creative project, but it can also be sexual energy. So it's also possible for some of you that maybe your sexual libido energy was reignited, and you may have done the first step of acting on it. So, but yeah, it could be a creative project as well, something you're working on that just makes you feel a lot of really positive energy and inspiration, okay? Now, whatever that creative project is, now this could be work or just something you do, or sexual energy, right? This is representing you for this month. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna pull advice cards right after. So you are being represented as the Five of Wands, clarified by the Sun. So I feel like even though you are struggling right now you probably feel like you've got too much on your plate, and this could be just things that maybe you have some responsibilities or things that you're trying to do all at once in your life. It could also be including if you feel responsible for, other people in your friendship circle or family that might be arguing, and maybe you're the one that's trying to patch things up and it's just not working, and it's maybe even making things worse. But there is a struggle, okay? However, it is clarified by the Sun, so I do feel that, you will be coming out of that struggle, and I do see that ultimately in the outcome, okay? So the future does look good. Now, I feel like there's a person or a situation. I feel like for most of you it's a person, and they're coming up as the Magician, okay? Now, this Magician is very negatively aspected with the Eight of Cups indolence. So this can represent abandoned efforts, like something that used to be really emotionally fulfilling, like a relationship, or maybe something that this person did, or maybe the feelings that they had towards you, like they used to have that love and that loving connection, but it's gone, and all they feel is the lack and the emptiness, right? So I feel like this, the Magician, when it's negatively aspected, can be super manipulative and like a liar, deceitful. And with these cups are emotions, so I feel like that they would be more emotionally manipulative towards you because of that emptiness, the loss, the pain, the grief. They feel empty inside, so I feel like that's why they want to maybe mess with you. And they are able to really do that. Like, they're able to have a really negative effect on your life. And I don't even think you realize how much it is, because you're turned, like in the spread, you're turned away from them. I don't think you realize how much they actually affect you, just keeping your, everything together. Now, this is what's between you two. So we've got what's between you, the energy between you and your connection with this person is the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords, and you are facing that person in the spread. So I feel like it's overall your energy towards them. So they get a reaction from you, and your reaction is very mental in your head. You just kind of maybe say things or write things or text things before maybe completely thinking it through, because they're able to actually control your focus. So they do have power over you in that sense. And it puts you in a really bad place, because Knight of Swords is being aspected by the devil. So there's like the most toxic energy between you and this person. And ultimately you are the good, more joyful, happy person, because I mean, you are being clarified by the Sun, which is the most positive card in the deck. Happiness, joyful, like you are naturally a very joyful person. So now I'm looking at these past cards and I'm thinking that just this connection with this person in the past that you did have, maybe both of you, for better or for worse, there was some sort of spiritual connection or energy that was like awoken within both of you potentially. Maybe it started out good and it sure did get bad, and it's really bad right now. However, we have got the outcome is the Page of Cups. So this is good. And that's clarified by lust, otherwise known as strength in many other decks. So I feel like even though you probably feel right now that there's just so much struggle, so much on your plate, you have such a negative attitude and perspective towards this person for good reason, you will get to a place of emotional calm and peace. You'll begin to rebuild yourself emotionally again, and that's fantastic. And I do think that with this person in the future, you two will, I mean, if you still have to have a connection in some way with this person, you two will at some point in the future have a calmness, just a calmness between you, and it will definitely feel way better than whatever is happening now. And it's going to make you a stronger person, and it will also make them a stronger person. So that's really good. And it's almost like both of you will have tamed that inner beast within one another. So like they will within themselves, you will within yourself, and will have gained, both of you will have gained a lot of strength from your, relationship, regardless of the ups and downs and the toxicity of it. So that's good. And your outcome is also clarified by Rejuvenation, which is also known as the Judgment card in many other decks. However, in this deck, I feel like it's more like a rebirth. Once this is all over, for whatever reason you have this connection with this person, you will be reborn again. And it's like you'll let all of the baggage go in such a big way, and it's like you will be born again, but as a fully grown adult. It's like a second or a third or a fourth or a fifth chance at life. They say cats have 9 lives, and you will be starting your new life. So that's fantastic. And it will actually make you feel so refreshed. And I think it will be, well, I know it will be a huge wake-up call for you, and a big questioning of, very deeply what are your values and what's really important and what's worth fighting for. And yeah, you're really gonna not even just grow up, but almost become like a new person. And their outcome is clarified by the Temperance card, and they're also facing away from you in the deck. So I think that in the future, they will kind of lose interest with messing with you, and they're going to actually come back to finding some inner balance within themselves. So that's good. Let's get a few advice cards. Oh, so your clarification or theme card with the Princess of Pentacles. So you will be, when it comes to your connection with this person, moving forward in a practical way. So you really just need to be very smart and practical and down to earth with your dealings with this person. Let's get a few advice cards for how to best deal with this person. All right, so first advice card, we've got the Hierophant, also known as the High Priest. So this can sometimes represent order amongst the chaos, and it also, so just being able to find organization with your life if it does feel really chaotic. And you coming up as the 5 of Wands, I'm sure it feels very chaotic. This can also be a reminder to reconnect with a religious or spiritual practice, even if it's meditating 10 minutes a day, for example, but it's whatever, when I said that, whatever that means to you ultimately. And also this can mean just trying to look at things from a higher perspective. Sometimes when we look at things up close, it looks really bad. But sometimes when we have a higher perspective and look at everything in a whole, maybe you can actually see the purpose for it, or maybe some good that will come out of this, even though it can be really hard to see when you're in the middle of it, which I definitely get that you're in the middle of it. Also, just one more quick note, you coming up as the 5 of Wands. 5s are very transitional, okay? So you normally won't stay like in that way for very long, okay? Second advice card, we've got the 9 of Pentacles. So, I mean, I would focus on treating yourself. I feel like this card to me is a very, you know, luxurious card. Treat yourself. You don't need to spend a huge amount of money, but be kind to yourself. And that can be, you know, making a nice meal or taking yourself out for dinner if you're allowed to go out. Things like that. Just treating yourself. It is okay. You don't always have to be holding on to every little penny. Third advice card, 10 of Swords. Swords are, it doesn't look pretty. It's not a pretty looking card. However, it's a minor arcana, okay? So this is very changeable. And as an advice card, the 10 of Swords is saying, yes, whatever this person did to you or is still doing to you, horrible, unforgivable, cruel. But you are making this happen 10 times. You're making this 10 times worse when you're replaying it in your head and continuously putting yourself back in the role of a victim. You need to, at some point, stand up, brush it off, and stop playing the victim. You are being victimized by this person, most likely, for most of you. But it's your choice whether you want to stay in that position or not. And swords are very mental in your head. So you really got to sort your head out, especially because I feel like, you know, the first hurt emotionally, yeah, but then the repeating of it in your head, that's got to stop. That pattern's got to stop. And fourth advice card, we've got the King of Pentacles. So you might want to actually be, if you've got a business or a particular work or anything that has to do with acquiring land, property, investments, things money related, you might want to be focusing on that and moving forward with a business venture, which also kind of lines up with this Princess of Pentacles. It's the first steps of potentially making your dreams a reality. And also this could be a reminder, because pentacles are physical, that includes our body. You might want to really focus on pushing yourself physically. All right, let's get some destiny cards. So you're gonna pick a number, 1, 2, or 3, so you get some extra advice cards. But please, if you don't mind, I mean, comment below, tell me about who is this person, you know, what's going on. And I mean, it's definitely not pretty in the middle of it for now, that's for sure, but you are going to see the other end of this and just get to that place of peacefulness with this person too. And so that's great. All right, pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. Always go with your first instinct, all right? If you picked 1. All right. If you picked 1, we have got the 4 of Cups, Ace of Discs, 6 of Wands. So yes, you're feeling really sad and emotional disappointment, and it sucks, okay? Yeah, there's like, it sucks. But there is a new opportunity, a new start for you. And there might be a bit of money coming your way, or, you know, a raise, or a contract that's signed, or, you know, maybe a positive results on, you know, a help for your body, or maybe an opportunity to move, something like that. There's a new start physically or financially, so that's great. So that is being birthed within you. Sometimes this can, maybe you know someone in your life who's, you know, about to or has recently given birth to a child, for some of you. Your advice is the 6 of Wands. So whatever makes you feel inspiration and joy, go for it, go for it, go for it. You will be successful. If you pick 2, all right. If you pick 2, on the surface, we've got the 10 of Pentacles, beneath the surface, the Knight of Discs, and the Queen of Wands is your advice card. So I feel like right now you are, you know, you have a good connection with whatever means like family to you. So it could be your immediate family, it could be friends if they feel like family, but you're feeling good. So you're in a place where it's security, relationships that are secure. So that's good. possibly doing well in work too. Beneath the surface, we've got the Knight of Discs, so I feel like overall you're kind of playing it safe, but maybe thinking about stepping out of your comfort zone at some point in the future. Your advice is the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is someone who is very true to herself. And by the way, wands are fire, and you're a fire sign. So the Queen of Wands is also someone who is not afraid of her intuition or her sexuality, okay? She's very authentic. She would never say something that wasn't true, because it's almost like, why would I say something that I don't mean, you know? So just the Queen of Wands is a reminder to stay authentic, stay true to yourself, and, you know, be proud of who you are and own it. If you picked 3. All right, if you picked 3, we've got the Page of Swords, beneath the surface, Page of Wands, and the Empress. So you are going to, or you already are at the start of maybe having a fresh new perspective. And it might even be like taking a step back to how you used to think. And I think that you are, you're just gonna have very shortly, or possibly right now, a fresh new perspective with less baggage, and that's good. Really, really good. Beneath the surface, we've got the Princess of Wands. So she follows her intuition, and when she feels inspired, she acts on it straight away without hesitation, okay? Just make sure that maybe this new perspective is because, you know, you just were inspired to maybe think of something a different way, or speak in a different way, or approach something in a different way, so with less baggage. And your advice is the Empress. So the Empress is the queen of the deck, and she takes care of herself. She cares about how she looks in public and things like that. So this as an advice card is to really treat yourself. You know, you've worked really hard to get to where you are. But it's not just about working hard to get to the next level. It's also about enjoying and appreciating exactly where you are and being proud of all of your accomplishments. You also want to show the world with the way that you dress and present yourself that you are royalty. So that means when you go out in public, a way of showing yourself self-love might be making sure that you are presented nicely, okay? I mean, you wouldn't see the queen go out in sweats and messed up hair and things like that. So if you're gonna have that royal attitude, you need to do the same. All right, I hope that was helpful. If you'd like a private reading, send me an email or check out my website. That's all in the description below. And I do monthly, mid-monthly readings, so definitely make sure that you're subscribed, especially if you've seen like more than one of my videos, then you might, and you want to see more, which I hope you do, then you might as well subscribe. Just reminding. Okay, and if you're still here, secret bonus card. Ooh, Princess of Cups. So just be open to receiving intuitive messages and making sure that you are paying attention to your dreams, synchronicities, being gentle with yourself. And if anyone is being romantic or flirty with you and you're single, or even if you're in a relationship with your partner, you know, allow for that person to flirt with you and receive it and just take it in. So I hope that was helpful. I will see you later. Bye.